literally a Christmas bomb explosion in here. We still have not cleaned up, and you guys probably can't see it, which is probably a good thing. But there's like wrappings over there and like boxes that we reuse because they have little snowmen on them and all sorts of stuff. We have like a Santa over there. Ignore it, and I am totally in New Year's mode. I am just a big glitter puff today, and I have a demon psycho terrorist cat attacking the other cats. So today has been a very odd day, if you can't already tell, and I guess I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about the emotional side of acne. And I'm a very bad person because I've told you guys for months that I'm going to bring you a video on the Europe trip, which involves, you know, acne and that kind of thing. This is a kitty cat toy. He like goes psycho. Booby! There you are! I've got your skirt toy! Go get it! Woo! He loves it. Anyways, I told you guys that I'd bring that video to you ages ago, and I haven't done it yet because the dermatologist that I got to speak to and work with, I wanted to get their exact words. I didn't just want to say something that wasn't true or say something that they didn't back. So I'm still kind of talking to them and waiting to hear back from them and all that. So I still have not brought you that video because a big part of that video is what I learned. So I'm thinking maybe I should do like the Europe trip outside of the acne stuff and the acne stuff in a separate video. So tell me how you guys feel about that. But today I just wanted to talk to you about the emotional side of acne. And I don't even have like a plan for this video. I guess I just wanted to sit down and talk to you because in Europe, one of the big things there was discovering the patient and understanding the patient and truly treating the patient. And I was going to do this in one video, but I'm thinking of splitting it into two. Positive ways to treat your acne. Because if acne was just acne on our face, it wouldn't be that big of a problem unless maybe it hurts. But what makes acne such a problem, in my opinion, is because it hurts us emotionally. If we didn't feel bad about our acne, hello Mother Goose. If we didn't feel bad about our acne, or if we weren't self-conscious about our acne, or if there was not an emotional side of acne, it wouldn't be half the problem that it is. It would still be an issue because, you know, maybe it would hurt, maybe it'd be a, you know, a physical problem, but the emotional part is just so huge that I don't know, I wanted to like brain barf on you guys if you guys want to brain barf with me. So I also wanted to do a video on positive ways to treat your acne because I feel like there's so many different things out there and it's kind of negative, oh, hope this works, this kind of thing. And I think that keeping a positive attitude is something that's not only essential to treating acne properly because you have less stress, but essential in life just to be happy and to live long and, you know, to enjoy the time that we have here. So I'm probably going to do that in a separate video. I don't know if it's going to be part 1 of 2 or what this is because this video is also going to be really, really long, which I apologize about. But acne for me, I'm just going to talk about the emotional side of it. You guys know that when I first got acne, it was in elementary school. It was about the 3rd grade and it was a honking pimple right there on the side of my nose. And I remember the girl pointing it out, and other kids would point out my acne, you know, a pimple here, a pimple there, it wasn't bad. And at that time, it didn't really bother me, which was interesting because I had acne. But it wasn't emotional for me at that time. When I was in elementary school, kids noticed it, but they didn't pick on me, they didn't tease me about it. I didn't feel self-conscious about it. I just thought, okay, this is what I have. It wasn't until people started saying things and reacting negatively to it in like middle school and high school that it actually became a problem for me. And I think that that just ties into how huge this emotional part is. And in Europe we spoke about what is treating the patient. Is treating the patient from a doctor's perspective. Is it just getting rid of the pimples? Is it just making the skin look better? Or is it actually making sure that with the acne or once the acne is gone that the patient feels secure with themselves. The patient can go on and do daily life. You know, if there's scarring, is it traumatic? Is it something that's going to bother them? You know, to make sure that they can function. And, you know, that even ties in psychology. You know, should dermatologists work hand in hand with psychologists to really see if a kid is suffering or an adult is suffering from depression or from self-confidence issues or self-worth issues, because I think that a lot of those tie into acne. And I'm not going to speak for anyone else just because I don't have that empathy. I've never been in someone else's shoes, but but I can speak for myself that I've definitely had self-confidence issues, self-worth issues, and it's still hard for me to talk about, even though I'm very open about having acne and having this problem. You guys know, I mean, we're best friends, we talk about it all the time, but I still have issues with myself, and there were days where I wake up and I look in the mirror and I say, I'm not happy with what I see, and therefore I'm not happy with who I am. And you know, there's those days where you're just at an all-time low, but then there's other days where you're like, you know what, I really have been blessed. But it's hard to kind of weigh those scales sometimes. So the emotional side of acne, in my opinion, is just as bad, if not as worse, as the acne itself. You know, when I got into middle and high school, that's really when it set in, and that's really when I started taking it really personally. Kids would tease me, kids would pick on me, and then that's when I started going to doctors. And that too was like this whole emotional part of doctors. For me, dermatologists didn't really care. You guys know that I stopped counting at 12, which was like middle school, high school. But I would go into an office and they would say, oh, okay, you have acne. Well, don't worry, I've seen someone who has it 1,000 times worse. Here's a pill, here's a cream. And it's like, I understand if someone has it 1,000 times worse, but I can't comprehend that. I've only seen what I have. So how can you try to make me feel better by saying there's something worse out there if I feel like I'm the only one? You know, if you introduce me to that person and we talk about it, then maybe I'll put things into perspective. But right now, what I have is the worst, or what I had back then is the worst that I knew. So these doctors that are trying to comfort you and say, oh, someone else has it so much worse, that doesn't help you because you still feel alone. At least I did. And that also was very emotional for me. I went into doctors expecting help, expecting to get answers. And it's like, it's just, oh my God, it's so frustrating. I'm sorry guys, but they would just sit you down and be like, oh, here's a pill, here's a cream, try it. And, you know, sometimes they'll ask you a simple question like, what have you tried before? But they don't even explore other opportunities. Like pills. I've had so many doctors say, here's a pill. And we didn't even know it, but at that time I have one kidney and it caused a lot of issues. You guys know that antibiotics were a huge problem for me. And you know, even after tetracycline, they put you on doxycycline. After doxycycline, they put you on minocycline. After minocycline, they'll try Bactrim. And all of these pills, yes, they're supposed to do good, but they have side effects. And for me, I did notice slight differences, but I also had a lot of medical problems. And I've always been interested in natural and holistic remedies. You guys know that I experiment with some of those things and I try them. I wish that a doctor would have said, you know, there are herbal remedies out there, even if they're not FDA approved. Or, you know, there are natural do-it-yourself-at-home things that you can try. Even though they're not, you know, I'm not going to prescribe them to you, you might want to look into them. Boo-boo, leave him alone. And this is what I'm talking about. I have a terrorist ninja cat. You know you're in trouble. Hey! Little butt muffin. But I just wish that they kind of would have opened my eyes to that. You know, also, so many doctors say, oh, what you eat has nothing to do with your acne, or oh, maybe if you eat a greasy pizza, you'll break out. But honestly, what is acne? Acne is the cells of our body, the cells of our skin. And how do those cells grow? How does our body function? Well, it functions off of the water we drink and the nutrients and the minerals and the vitamins that we eat. So if there's a huge imbalance, our body can't function properly. And if our body can't put these building blocks together properly, how could our skin possibly be good? And in my opinion, I definitely think that food has a direct correlation to your acne and just your overall health and well-being. Same with your mental state, which is again the emotional side. If someone is really under high stress, no matter what creams or, you know, medicines you put them on, if they're under a lot of high stress and their skin breaks out from that, these creams and things aren't going to help as much. Treating the emotions and treating how people feel is just, you know, that would be so much more effective than just saying, here's a pill, hope it works. You guys actually know that for me, and I'm not trying to be negative, but for me, you guys know that I had a huge problem with the antibiotics because, you know, first off, it wasn't good for my intestines, it didn't help tremendously, and then I couldn't go swimming in the summer. I couldn't hang out with my friends. I had to slap on sunscreen. And I believe that even some sunscreens caused me to break out. And that was really difficult for me because I love swimming, I love being outdoors, I love having fun like we all do, but because antibiotics are photosensitive and light sensitive, you're not supposed to go out in the sun with them. And I'm taking a medication right now called Acne. You guys have heard about it before. I've done a review on it if you guys want a little spiffy helicopter link-a-dink time. But this is a medication that I've been taking for months, and I honestly love it. It's an herbal remedy. I have personally noticed differences, and it doesn't have those bad side effects for me. And I feel like if a doctor would have just opened my eyes to that, or at least even if they didn't prescribe it to me, if they just would have said, Cassandra, this is out there. Do your own research. Look into it. I feel like it would have helped me so much. And then if a doctor would have seen, like, I totally reclused. I'll go get it for you. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this 1,000 times before. Like I said, I'll link it to you. And I'm like all out. There's like none in here. But this is basically natural herbs that are doing something different to the body, the way antibiotics work versus this. And it's the same idea that you're treating the acne from the inside. And I understand it's not like FDA approved or anything, but this is a, traditional Chinese medicine based on the principles of traditional Chinese medicine. I love this stuff. You guys have heard me talk about it. I'll just link it to you. But whether it's this or something else, I just wish that a doctor would have kind of said, Cassandra, it's out there. Make your own decisions or learn about it. And, as terrible as the acne is, it kind of has been a blessing. I would like pray to God, like, please, why am I going through this? Why are you doing this to me? And until really recently, I really haven't figured that out until recently, but it's like if I never would have gone through that, I would have never had the drive to learn, to understand my skin, to learn about these herbal medications or about stress and things like that. And I feel like education is the cure to acne. If you understand your skin and if you know how it works, that's the answer to everything. Because then you know what sets you apart. You know if medicine works for you from the doctor, or if medicine from an herbal source works for you, or you know that if stress is causing you acne, or if it's food, or if it's just genetics or hormone related, or what it is. So it kind of has been a blessing in disguise. And you guys know without the acne, let's just face it, I wouldn't be here without you. And I look at that way in everything in my past. I've done things that I'm not proud of. I've been through things that I didn't enjoy. But at the same time, I look back and I say, yes, those moments were bad, but I'm happy that they happened because those moments brought me to where I am now. Booby, leave him alone! And I am where I am now. My hair is like falling out. And I am where I am now because of the things that I've been through. And, at the time that I'm, being bullied at school or, reclusing from school completely, you guys know that I basically switched schools to get away from the kids that, didn't treat me right. And I feel like if a doctor would have just looked into it, it's not the doctor's responsibility. I should have spoken up more because I talked to counselors, I talked to my parents, and it was always the same story. Oh, it's okay. Oh, they're just jealous. Oh, they're kids. Kids will be kids. It'll be fine. Booby, leave him alone! But when it really gets to you mentally like that, I should have kept pressing. But you hear the same thing over and over again. I just kind of threw up my hands and gave up, which wasn't the right thing to do. But maybe if doctors, focused a little bit more on the emotional aspects of acne, they could see those depression signs or those warning signs of someone who's just really bottling themselves up. And there were points where I just felt so lost and alone that I didn't even bother to talk about my feelings or about my self-worth or how I felt about myself because, there was nobody. Hi, phone. There was just nobody who seemed like they were willing to listen. So the emotional side of acne, I feel like, is huge. And even though I'm at a better place now, I still have those days where I say, I'm not worth it. I'm not feeling good, I don't love myself, I don't love my skin, and it's like your skin, the way you look doesn't define who you are, and it's just kind of about remembering that. But the emotional side of acne, I think, is definitely a huge part of it, and I think that doctors should focus on that as well, but I think that as patients, it's also our obligation to tell the doctors about that, even if you don't see a dermatologist, even if it's not about acne, even if it's about scarring or some other physical thing that you see as a flaw. It's about understanding that personally and bringing that to a doctor's attention, because right now the psychological issues aren't a part of their curriculum really. they touch on it briefly, but they aren't taught to go there, treat an acne patient, and then see if that acne is really bothering them or what it's doing to them on like a home or a school basis. So I think that as patients, it's important for us to speak up, and if we don't like an answer, go talk to someone else, which I did with multiple doctors, but I never did that with counselors or with parents, and looking back, I kind of wish I would have. But the emotional side of acne is huge, and I guess that's just what I have to say about it. I know that I just kind of like brain barfed on you right now. I really hope you guys don't mind that I'm a New Year's glitter puff, but I don't know, I wanted to talk to you. And like I said, this video was originally going to be treating acne in a positive way, so I'm probably going to do that again just because I don't like being negative, because it brings me down. I don't want to be brought down. I want to be a happy person, but I did feel like this was just something on my mind that I did want to share with you. And of course, we're best friends. That's what people tell each other. So, I mean, if you're willing to, I would also love to see your video response or comments or your story, because I feel like I felt so alone at first, and if it weren't for YouTube, I wouldn't have understood that there are other people out there who feel the exact same way that I do. So if you want to film a video response, it would like make my day, telling me what the emotional side of acne is for you, how you feel about herbal stuff versus, actual prescribed medication, or if you've even thought about that, or, what you've been through concerning your acne. I don't know, we could just have happy story time. So I'm gonna go be a New Year's puff over there and clean up all our Christmas stuff because I really have to get to that. And before I clean up the Christmas stuff, I'm going to get the cat off of the other cat. But I love you guys. I hope that you didn't mind me rambling. And yeah, I hope that this maybe gave you some insight on the emotional side of acne, or at least what I think of it. So I love you guys. I swear I'm done with this video now, and I will make another one concerning positive ways to treat acne soon so that we can all be happy people. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you all soon. Love you guys. Bye.